Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 5. Big doings this week. There are 5 assignments open on the assignments page, which is where we are right now. The good news is that they're all relatively small. Now, the biggest one is right here, the draft of an ethnic humor analysis. That's due Monday night before midnight. And you'll see that the main assignment is down here. That's due a week from Monday, and you'll have your drafts read by me and back with my comments later this week. So I would make this your first order of business for the week right away. Get right on it as early as possible. You need to do well on this, and I encourage you to ask questions if you have them on the discussions page in the class chat room, because it's worth a lot of points. The draft itself is only worth 50 points. And this is going to sound like upside down logic, where the actual essay is worth, the revised essay, so to speak, is worth 100 points. But the better you do on the draft, the better you are more likely to do on the finished assignment. That said, let's move on to what you probably want to deal with right after you turn in your draft on Monday night. Class discussion on a couple of new readings. I'll get to those in a minute. Reading questions on them and a chapter in Weston. I'll talk a little bit more about Weston's chapter in our Thursday screencast. Now, the second comic argument analysis, 4 paragraphs. If you did the first one, which is way down here, it was due June 29th. And if you're happy with your score on that, you can take the option not to do this. That's right, it's optional. However, if you didn't do the first one or don't like your score on it, by all means, give this one a try and use any comments I left on the first one where you needed to sort of up your game a little bit. And speaking of credit, here's some extra credit, the second set of extra credit questions. You saw the first set down there. The first set was about deductions, essentially. This deals with the argument that you're going to read about this week in Weston's book on correlations. And that's pretty much it. 5 assignments, 2 are optional, the extra credit and the second comic argument analysis. And then the usual discussion on Thursday, separately from the one due on Tuesday. And the responses on Thursday's posting this week. And starting the week right out the gate, the draft. Okay, really shortly, let me take you to some new readings here in supplemental readings on the modules page. And you'll see 2 articles. These are satires. And they're a specific type of satire called parody. This one's of special interest to many college students, and they find it pretty entertaining. And also, those of you who grew up watching Coyote Roadrunner cartoons will enjoy this one. Pay attention to who is putting out the argument versus who the actual author is. So keep those in mind, and you should have fun reading those. Now, parody. What's parody? And what's satire? Let me start with satire. Both of those articles are parodies, but let me go to satire first. Satire is comedic comment that tells a joke with a straight face, essentially. It implies that it's joke rather than negotiating permission to tell a joke like stand-up comedians do that we've been looking at in ethnic humor. In satire, the idea is to pretend that it's serious and see if the audience gets it. Think of satire as a joke that the author is sharing with the audience at the expense of the subject or the character in being discussed, the person's being discussed or the thing being discussed. The author's making fun of it, but with a straight face. There are still punchlines, there are still premises. Okay, and parody. That's a type of satire. Again, it's pretended serious treatment of the event or the occasion or literary work. You've got a pretended scholarly article, research article on grandmothers dying to read this week, and another pretended legal brief regarding a lawsuit, a court case on a cartoon character, a lawyer who took on a cartoon character as a client. So those are two examples of parody that you're going to read this week. And parody often imitates something legitimate as part of the joke, and it makes fun of what it imitates. In the two cases that I just mentioned, your two readings for this week. So have fun with those. Have a great week, and let me know if you have any questions on the draft due tonight. The last time I will check my messages or the class chat room will be around 8 p.m. tonight. Okay? Good luck.